Hey guys, Chris Baker here from the Battle Creek Jinx campus. Thanks for joining me today for a little bit of ManTime. I hope you all are staying safe out there. I just wanted to take a little bit of time today to sort of recognize those of you who are going through some difficult hardships and some struggles right now. In times like these, it's really natural for us to begin to sort of question God and His purposes. And kind of trying to understand, where is God in all of this? Why is He allowing this to happen? And I don't know about you all, but this time really feels a whole lot to me like this is our generation's wilderness moment. And so I just wanted to take some time today to kind of explore that theme and see, what the scriptures have to teach us about this. So some of the most important biblical moments actually occur in the wilderness. So Moses encounters God in the burning bush, and then later wanders in the wilderness for 40 years after the Exodus. David flees for his life from Saul and then winds up writing many of the Psalms in the wilderness. And then ultimately Jesus is led by the Spirit out into the wilderness after his baptism when he's tempted by the devil. So what exactly is this wilderness in the Bible? So the wilderness is a desert both in the spiritual and in the physical sense. So it's a place of emptiness and isolation. Often it's combined with a time of fear or craving or longing. People are tested in the wilderness, and oftentimes there's a period of transition, of growth. People learn to rely on God or experience some sort of revelation. So ultimately in the wilderness, there's three main dangers that people encounter too. So there is thirst, there is hunger, and then thirdly, there's the wildness of the wilderness. So there's animals like snakes and scorpions and lions, and then you're exposed to the harsh elements of the heat, and the lack of water and everything. So what I want you to do with some of those pictures in your mind of the wilderness is just sort of take a moment and write down some of the ways that your life maybe feels like a wilderness right now. With all of the isolation, are you feeling lonely or afraid? What sort of struggles or hardships are you facing? Have you faced loss of a job or struggling to figure out how to pay your mortgage month to month? Maybe you're facing some sort of cravings or temptations with so much extra time at home and with the additional fear and stress going on. Whatever it is that you're struggling with right now, I want you to just pause the video for a moment and take some time and think about it and write these things down. So welcome back. I think, one of the difficult things about this season in life is that our other problems didn't just go away because there's a pandemic going on. If anything, this really just sort of magnifies the problems that were there already. And so we have to figure out, how do we face our struggles and our problems in the midst of all of this. So as we're reflecting on our current situation and the struggles we're facing, I want to take a look at the book of Deuteronomy to see how Moses challenges the Israelites to reflect on their time in the wilderness. So the book of Deuteronomy really focuses on Moses towards the end of his life. He's addressing the Israelites after he's freed them from slavery. They've been out wandering the desert for 40 years now, and he's really looking to remind them of God's faithfulness, of his promises, his commands, and then in the end he winds up offering them a choice. So I want to join in with the story in chapter 8. So Moses says to the Israelites, "Be careful to obey all the commands I'm giving you today, so you can live and multiply, and you'll enter and occupy the land the Lord swore to give your ancestors. Remember how the Lord your God led you through the wilderness for these 40 years, humbling you and testing you to prove your character and to find out whether or not you would obey his commands. Yes, he humbled you by letting you go hungry and then feeding you with manna, a food previously unknown to you and your ancestors. He did it to teach you that people do not live by bread alone. Rather, we live by every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. For all these 40 years, your clothes didn't wear out and your feet didn't blister or swell. Now, what Moses is really asking them here is that they need to make a choice. Are they going to choose to remember God or not? He's looking at them. It's like, guys, look, I know we were hungry out there, but don't you remember how God fed us? He sent manna down from heaven, something that our ancestors had never even known before, and provided for us. I know we were often hot and exhausted from wandering the desert, but remember how we never had to worry about our clothes wearing out or our feet getting tired? God did these things to teach us to remember him and to rely on him no matter our circumstances. How often is it that you can say that you actually take time to remember the things that God's done for you? I know for me, it's so much easier to focus on negative things going on in life, or things that I wish I could change, or that I think I could do better, rather than really focusing on the good things in my life and the time that God has proved his faithfulness to me. And so what I'd like you to do is to just take a moment and again pause this video and maybe say a little prayer just for God to soften your heart, to open your mind and speak to you and reveal to you the good things that he's done for you and he's doing for you right now. And I just want you to write down a few examples of those, some of the first things that pop in your head, and then we'll come back. So welcome back, guys. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit of some of the struggles that I've faced in my life. I don't know what you're going through right now, but years ago, I struggled with addiction for a long time. And so I know the isolation, the anxiety, the depression that can come with serious hardship and with the inner battles that you can face. But the thing is, at some point, I had to make a choice. Do I really believe what I say I believe, or not? Who or what am I going to be giving my life to? And I think we all have to be faced with that same choice. Are you giving your life to anything other than God? And if so, what is that? Be it, money, sex, status? Are there things that you are struggling with that you're really being faced to sort of stare down during this time of increased isolation and hardship? And so what I wanted to do was just kind of lay out for you guys today the same choice that Moses offers up to the Israelites. So over in Deuteronomy 30, he says to them, this command I'm giving you is not too difficult for you. It is not beyond your reach, and it's not kept in heaven, so distant that you must ask, who will go up to heaven and bring it down so we can hear it and obey? It's not kept beyond the sea, so far away that you must ask, who will cross the sea to bring it to us so we can hear it and obey? No, this message is very close at hand. It's on your lips and it's in your heart so that you can obey it. Today, I have given you the choice between life and death, between blessings and curses. Oh, that you would choose life so that you and your descendants might live. You can make this choice by loving the Lord your God, obeying him and committing yourself firmly to him. For this is the key to your life. And so I just wanted to take a moment today and for us to reflect on what that really means, and going back and thinking about those dangers of the wilderness. So the thirsting, the hungering, the wildness of it all. And just take time to remember that God gave us the ultimate provision in his son, Jesus. Jesus overcame the ultimate wilderness for us on the cross. For those who are thirsty, Jesus says, I am giving you living water For those who are hungry, Jesus tells us, I am the bread of life. For those facing, all sorts of evil, from just like those faced with the animals or the elements in the wilderness, Jesus says, I am the good shepherd, and the good shepherd sacrifices his life for his sheep. He is there to protect us. And so we just need to remember. In this time, we need to remember the Lord. Remember who is the source of life, who is the source of goodness. And I just want to say that if you or your family need prayer or support in any way, if you're struggling with anything and you need help, be it financially, be it spiritually, just reach out to Lucas Smith. He's the Jinx campus pastor. You can reach him by email at lsmith@battlecreekchurch.com or on his cell at 580-370-0539. And I just want to say thank you to Lucas for allowing me the time today to speak to you guys. And I want to say thanks to those of you who are tuning in. May God bless you this week. And I just look forward to the time that we can be together again. Love you. Miss you guys. Thanks.